I made the mistake of jumping off the LA Lakers last season. Preseason, I picked them to win it. Wanted to see something from them against the Clippers. And the first 2 games, I saw nothing. I saw a team dominate the first 3 quarters and then give up the ghost in the fourth. And I said after that Christmas Day loss to the Clippers, I said, you know what? The Clippers are going to beat the Lakers in the playoffs. And from that moment on, I was with the Clippers. And I was wrong. Because, of course, as we all know, the Lakers came out and won the championship. I won't make that mistake again. Because the Lakers have dominated the offseason like they dominated the season. I mean, they got Marc Gasol, who we all know is an intelligent player, can shoot the 3, stretch the floor, is a rim protector, even though he's not very athletic. Great addition there. They got Montrezl Harrell, who was the 6th man of the year last year with the Clippers. He walks down the hall and joins the purple and gold. They traded for Dennis Schroeder, who was the runner-up for 6th man of the year. If I'm not mistaken, I voted for Schroeder. He was great in Oklahoma City. They added Wes Matthews, who gives them the 3-and-D package they lost with Danny Green, moving on, and even Avery Bradley, who wasn't there in the bubble. And they kept Markieff Morris. The Lakers will be better, folks. They should be, and in my view are, the runaway favorites to start this season. They are the runaway favorites to win a back-to-back championship. But it doesn't stop there. News has come out, might just be talk, speculation, but news has come out that Anthony Davis is waiting to sign his extension with the Lakers, his new deal, to determine how long he wants to sign for, because they think they might have a shot at Giannis Antetokounmpo. I was waiting for Rob to say, Gesundheit. And then Alex would have played, everything's not funny.
Everything's not funny.
There we go. Very nice.
Now, I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm going to throw this out to you, Rob, before I share the rest of my thoughts on this. Do you think, let's play the game. Do you think that, and let me clear this up, Anthony Davis is going to re-sign with the Lakers. There's no doubt. But the length of his deal, if they think they've got a good shot at getting Giannis, if Giannis doesn't re-sign with the extension with the Bucks, then, which he has into mid-December to do, then Davis could take a 1-year deal, and then, become a free agent, and then give the Lakers the cap room to go ahead and get Giannis. I'm gonna throw this out to you, Rob. And then it would be Giannis, LeBron, and Anthony Davis as a big 3 in LA. Do you think Giannis should even consider joining that Lakers team?
Absolutely not. And shame on the Lakers and LeBron and Anthony Davis, who just won a championship, to even be thinking on those terms. Because the thing that I think people should learn from this whole thing is the Kevin Durant scenario. You won the championships, you got the final MVPs, but people don't even to this day give him full credit. And it will always
even as we acknowledge he was the best player on the team.
There's no doubt about it, Chris. But am I right? He's gotten full credit, and he'll never get full credit.
Because Rob, you can't tell me Bradley Beal or some lesser player could have went there and done the same thing. Not that he would have been as good as Garnett or Durant, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They probably could have won it with a lot lesser player.
So my point is that to me negates or takes away from what it is that you're building. They don't need to look on those. You just won the championship with Anthony Davis and you got pieces, right? Win it again and show people like from that vein. And I just think this is that mentality that I think is bad for the league. I really do. That's why I applauded Everybody thought Kawhi Leonard was going there. Remember, Chris? I mean,
Right.
you know, people,
Right.
information. Oh, Kawhi Leonard. Oh, they got room for him. And they got Anthony Davis. And it's going to be a cakewalk. And wait till they sign
And
Kawhi.
it would have been ridiculous.
Right. It would have been ridiculous. And thank God to Kawhi that he didn't want any part of that. And you know, I'm hoping that Giannis is of the same vein. I'm not saying you got to stay in Milwaukee for your whole life and if thing doesn't work out. But guys are acting, Chris, like they're Charles Barkley and the back end, the back nine, and they're, you know, frantic or want to win and try to get a championship. Or you're Karl Malone, who played your entire career in Utah to go to the Lakers that one year and still didn't get a title. But he could have played his entire career in a Utah Jazz uniform, which is where it should have been. And instead, these are young guys thinking like they're old guys. You know what I mean? Like, oh, my God, like I got to win. I'm 25, and I haven't won a title yet. I just think it's comical, but it's bad for the it would be bad for the NBA.
Well, it would definitely be bad. Now, it would be a heck of a story. So in that regard, I mean, you can argue it'd be good business-wise. Remember Miami with the big three, Wade, LeBron, and Bosh? That was great for the NBA because it was such a huge story, must-see TV all year long, blah, blah, blah. This would certainly be the same. But, and look, I've never, you know this, Rob, I never killed LeBron for going to Miami. I never killed KD for going to Golden State. But, and I said with LeBron, you know, Magic went to a team that had Hall of Famers already. Same with Bird. And so Cleveland couldn't get him that, so he built it on his own. And I give him props. I think, you know, I'm not mad at the player empowerment era, which LeBron created. But this is something that kind of makes you go, and I say the same thing with Brooklyn wanting James Harden, you know, KD and Kyrie. These types of things you can't help but wonder on some level, do they really want to compete?
No, Chris.
Do they really want to get at it?
You just said it. You just said it.
You, who's better? You know what I mean? Like, Chris, I don't know if I'm better. You don't know if you better. We gonna see.
This is what I call the AAU mentality. And I hate to sound like the old man, hey, you kids, get off my lawn guy. But, Chris, there used to be a time when the 3 or 4 best players in Detroit played on different AAU teams or different teams,
right,
wanting to be the best player in the city. And you would say, you know, Joe Blow is the best basketball player in Detroit, right? That's what used to be bragging right.
3. Right.
Now, those 3 players, Chris, play on the same team, beat nobody. Do you understand what I'm saying? They go, right, oh, well, yeah. Right. Well, we were undefeated in AAU. Of course you were. The 3 best players in the city were on the same team.
Right.
What do you get from that? I don't understand it. How do you feel good about it? How do you?
I do.
Isn't there competitive juice, Chris, that says I did it? I pushed through. I had my setbacks.
Right.
I reached the mountaintop.
I'm gonna give them this. I think part of it is that we, and you know, Rob, you and I both say it's not just championships. It's not just rings. All right, you got to have the individual stats, dominance, so on and so forth. Otherwise, Bill Russell would be considered the GOAT. So it's not just rings, but the media, we do put a heavy emphasis on championships. And I think some of these guys have, and now, you know, there's more scrutiny than ever. You know, back in the day, if you didn't win it, yeah, there's some criticism, but you don't have Undisputed on every weekday. First Take every weekday.
Yeah, I think you're giving them
every weekday night.
I think you're giving them a pass.
Well, no, but I'm saying we all like now, if you don't win a ring, in a lot of people's eyes, you haven't done jack. And back in the day, that wasn't viewed. I mean, Jerry West is the logo. He's viewed as Mr. Clutch. He lost his first 7 trips to the finals. You know, and so I'm just saying, I think that is some of their mentality. But I'm going to get back to Giannis and say this, Rob. I agree with you. He shouldn't. Now, if he wants to consider them among 5-6 teams he wants to look at, fine. But they should be nowhere near the top of his list. Here's why. He would likely be the third wheel, assuming, because LeBron's going to have the ball in his hands. So he's going to be the point guard making his decisions. He's going to get his 9-10 assists. He's going to get his 20 points. Because remember, he still wants to catch Kareem. So it ain't like he's going to average 15. He's going to get his 20-something points. AD, because he's skilled, more skilled than Giannis, jump shots, so on and so forth, he's going to get his. Giannis would be a beast in transition and defensively, but in the half court, what do you do with him?
Get him out the way. How about that?
I mean, really, it's like you're going to get yours. You're not really running plays where, we'll run a dive here and there. You get it and drive like you do in Milwaukee here and there. But he might very well be the odd man out in that situation. And Rob, look, all championships are not created equal. You said it. Kevin Durant, yes, he's a champion. He's an all-time great. But if those are the only 2 championships he ever wins, there's going to be a mental asterisk by it in people's minds. And LeBron, we always say the Cleveland championships, his greatest. His greatest. Right. And I would say this
over Miami. Over Miami, no doubt about it. And that team, to be honest, didn't do anything special, Chris. If they won 3 in a row, they would have put themselves in rarefied air. They won 2, they lost 2. They lost a bad one to Dallas. They never should have. People don't look as fondly on Miami as probably it should have. You know what I mean?
Right. I don't think it was an all-time great team. I mean, it depends on how low you go, but you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't one of those historically great teams, I don't believe, despite all the talent. But, yeah, I think, Rob, if Giannis leaves Milwaukee, because there's a good chance he stays, I think you got better options. Miami, you can go there. They put the ball in your hands. You got shooters around you. And I know they just signed Bam Adebayo, and, they'd have to jump through some hoops maybe to get him now as far as free agency and all that. But they could make the room. And then I think Golden State, if they do a trade, Golden State, maybe you can get there because now with Clay's situation and, maybe there's some type of trade they can make. Or even Philadelphia, Rob. If Philly, let's say, doesn't make the finals, and Giannis is ready to go from Milwaukee, you don't think he could say to, I want to go to Philly, work out a sign and trade. And if I'm Philly, I give up Ben Simmons for him. And so in a heartbeat,
2
right?
seconds,
right. So
what?
I think there are better options for Giannis, even if he doesn't want to stay in Milwaukee. And so I'm with you, Rob. It would be an experiment because the pieces don't fit terrifically with Giannis, LeBron, and AD, and I don't think it'll happen. But it'd be like Harden and KD and Kyrie. Like, yeah, it's an experiment. It might not work. Good chance it won't, but a lot of people would take that chance. Would you want to see Giannis with the Lakers and yet another super-duper team? And would it be good for the NBA, bad for the NBA? And what about for Giannis himself? What do you think?
All right. Let's start off with Brian in St. Louis, the baseball capital of the United States. Brian, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up?
Rob, Chris, man, it's good to talk to you boys.
Good to have you on.
I'm glad you're doing the worship. I'm glad you're doing the worship Wednesday, Rob. Alex, what's up, man? All praises to the Most High. Of course, it would be bad for the NBA. It would literally be no point in watching any other team because we already know how it would end up, And on Giannis' behalf, I don't think it would be good for him because, like you said, he'll get that mental asterisk from people as far as not being involved in a championship when they do, because it's almost inevitable that they'll win the championship with Giannis and Anthony Davis and LeBron James all on the same team, and it would be the ultimate of ultimate teams ever, man. Like, that would be ridiculous, So if I had any recommendation, I wouldn't recommend Giannis go, but it is what it is, man. So
no, you're right,
I don't
Brian.
think he will. I mean, you don't see any indication, that he's about that. I mean, I don't think Hollywood was drawing.
Scuttlebutt.
Right.
Yeah, I don't either. Totally.
Thanks, Brian. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. And yes, Rob Parker will be here for you tomorrow on Thanksgiving and on the day after Thanksgiving while Chris Broussard is off.
Hold on, while
uh,
you toot your horn, I'm working tomorrow too.
What?
I'm talking about First Things First.
All right, that's nice, but you're not on the radio show.
So I got to get dressed up.
All right.
You're
not on the. You should work both shows.
You know,
both
you're gonna
shows.
be in your pajamas.
No, I'm not.
I'm
going to be out here working.
You might even not be in that.
Alex and I will be working tomorrow. Correct, Alex?
That's right, Rob. You know we are the hardest and best talented working people on this network.
Rob G and Chris,
Quitters.
as usual, will be off because Rob G is off the day before his birthday. That's how he takes days off. Anything close to a holiday.
Rob, when you're really important like me and Chris, they give you days off like that. It's cool.
Okay, I get it.
Yes,
You're
yes,
right.
Indeed. Yes, indeed.
Somebody's got to do the muscle. All
That's right.
Jabari
Have fun
in
with
Michigan. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Jabari?
What's up, Rob and Chris? Happy Thanksgiving Eve to you guys, and shout out to Alex and Rob G, who's also there as well.
My guy.
You too as well, brother. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Thank you.
And let me let y'all know, hold on, before you go, y'all are getting in Alex and Rob G's head. Like all these callers shouting them out, yo, Rob G, Alex, yo, what up? How you doing? How y'all feel?
CB, all I'm going to say is if me and Rob G start a podcast on sports, you're done.
See?
It's a wrap.
Like they really think it's their show. I mean, you know.
Yeah, we're just the fodder.
I
we're
mean,
just the fodder.
they are just, we've created monsters here.
See?
But go ahead. What's your points?
Yeah, I just want to say that I feel like from a business perspective, it would be good. For social media, it would be good, but for the league, as far as competitive basketball, I don't believe it would be good. I just feel like that Giannis, he should be in a situation where he should be wanting to stay or go to another team. He feel like that he can compete for a championship. At the end of the day, if he does go to the Lakers, and I'm not saying he is, he will be received. Well, his championships, let's say the win, they would not be the same as if he stays as a whole. I just feel like as a whole, we've seen people who's won titles and they didn't have to join a super team or they didn't have to go and stack up the deck like Dirk Nowitzki did, or even Isaiah Thomas. I understand I understand that there are some people who have done it as a whole, but I just feel like you could still compete. You could still find ways how to win a championship even though you don't have a super team. And I feel like that.
Absolutely.
I don't feel like Giannis is that type of guy as a whole. And I feel like if he does do that, we won't look at him as much as the same like KD or LeBron when they did it, unless the Bucks go to the finals and they face the Lakers, and then all of a sudden 2 months later he goes, and we're gonna look at it on a whole different level.
That would be the same. I mean, if the Lakers win it, it'd be the
Jabari,
same exact thing that Durant did.
Exactly. It would really be like what? Okay, but I agree. I think Giannis, and plus Chris. You can tell all you want about Giannis and what the Bucks don't have. Giannis has to improve his game too.
Absolutely.
He's a reason why the Bucks have struggled in the postseason.
Absolutely.
It ain't just because of the supporting cast. Andre in Massachusetts, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Andre?
What's going on, guys? Happy holidays. Thanks for
Happy
taking
Thanksgiving.
my call.
You too, my man.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm huge proponent in favor of Giannis going to the Lakers. Think it'd be great for him, be great for his brand. Yeah, I like it. And the fact of the matter for me is this. Listen, there's no more looking to the Red Auerbachs of the world, looking to the Jerry West of the world. And the NBA that LeBron James has created, he himself most notably, but also the players are the best GMs. And it's about the art of the deal and making that offer that
Andre, let me stop you for 1 second. Winning 4 championships in 17 years, is that great?
It's pretty good.
No, I asked you if it was great. 4 out of 17.
I think it's great to have 4 titles.
That's not what I said, Chris. I'm not knocking 4 titles. 4 out of 17. And my point is that Steph Curry didn't go anywhere, and he already has 3. I mean, it ain't like he ran away with it, and LeBron has 10 championships because he was the one facilitating and moving the players around, and look at what he was able to do. All I'm saying is it ain't all – you could stack the deck and do all that. You don't win all the time. I'm just saying the more –
well, like you said, Miami, they won 2 out of 4. I remember vividly the night LeBron went to Miami, being on SportsCenter and all that and talking about it. And I don't know if I was asked this question, but if I had been asked how many or told, say somebody told me they're going to win 2 of the next 4 championships, I would have thought that person was crazy.
Absolutely.
I would have said they're winning at least 3. At least 3.
And they might win all 4.
Right.
They might.
Right. And they only won 2. So
And that's why LeBron was up on that stage. Not 2, not 3. They believed that. They really did when they put that team together.
And they had every reason to believe it. You know what I'm saying? Because it was so stacked.